I spent a month in the hospital with traumatic brain injury, bad. Like I
Wow.
couldn't speak, couldn't walk.
Wow.
Yeah, serious,
That's real. That's some real shit. Yeah.
serious injury. Even today, I slur, I don't talk right. So, so I'm trying to recover from this, and God, they say I could never recover, maybe, or maybe it will take a year, maybe two, 5 years, who knows? So he said to help your brain, he goes start painting and drawing. It will be therapy for your brain. So I started painting,
Right.
and while I'm painting, I'm obsessed with this singer, Sinead O'Connor. I saw her face on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, and I loved her bald head. I started painting Sinead O'Connor on my
Nice.
wall, on canvas, on anything I could find. It was like a psycho. My entire room in my house was Sinead O'Connor. All different versions, like something out of a horror movie. It's just
So yeah, just Sinead.
a billion pictures of Sinead O'Connor, day and night, morning to the time I went to bed. Sinead O'Connor, Sinead O'Connor.
Wow.
And then I hear she's going to be performing in New Jersey at the then Garden State Arts Center. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to see Sinead O'Connor. I can't just go to the show. I got to meet her. How can I meet her? She's everything. So I come up with this plan. I see this little like 10-page paper giveaway magazine in a bar across the street called Stepping Out. So I pick it up and it has the weather on the cover. It has the weather for that week and maybe 2 or 3 ads in it. So I bring it back to my house. I cut out with scissors the logo Stepping Out. I scotch tape it to typing paper and I type, my name is Chaunce Hayden. I'm a journalist who is the editor of Stepping Out magazine, and we'd like to feature Sinead O'Connor on the cover.
Wow.
Please let us know if she'll be available for an interview prior to the show at the Garden State Arts Center. Yours sincerely, Chaunce Hayden, editor of Stepping Up magazine. And I fax it to Elaine Shark, her publicist. And never thinking I'm going to hear back. About a day later, I get a phone call. Yes, this is Chauncey. Yes, yes. We've approved your interview request. So you'll be meeting Sinead O'Connor an hour before the show, and you'll get a half hour to sit and ask her questions for the cover of Stepping Out magazine. And they're like, what? They're like, what is Stepping Out, by the way? Oh, we print 2 million copies. It's in every city in America. It's mostly music based. We have many Irish acts, so she's perfect for the cover. Oh, excellent, excellent. You can't Google it. There's no way of knowing.
Yeah, right. This is before you had
You
that.
can't. You
Yeah.
don't know if I'm bullshitting. So I get backstage and I'm talking to this. I'm sitting there. I didn't know if I should kill her or interview her. Like part of me said, I really should just cut her throat. I mean, I'm here. This is the time to do it. I'm crazy. I should kill her.
Yeah, it'd be a
And
perfect opportunity.
I don't
Yeah.
know what stopped me from killing her because it was on my mind. I said, or maybe just really interview her. I said, maybe do that. So I started asking her questions. I had a little tape recorder. And it was great. It was great. And that was the night that she wouldn't go on stage if they played the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh
And it
yeah.
made global news all over the world. And Frank Sinatra said he was going to kick her in the ass.
Yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
only interview. So I go to the guy, Larry Collins, who started Stepping Out like a month ago, and I'm
Right.
saying, hey, do you want this interview with Sinead O'Connor? He goes, you have an interview with Sinead O'Connor? You want to give it to me? I said, yeah, because it's called Stepping Out. Where am I going to put it? I
Right.
told her Stepping Out. That's
Right.
Stepping
Yeah. It
Out.
makes sense
So,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I said, do you want it? He goes, listen, he goes, we have no money. We're like 5 pages. He
Right.
goes, we work out of our mother's house. They go, but if you want to give it to us, we'll put your name on the cover and give you credit. So I said that would be awesome.
Look,
So
I want to go back to the Sinead O'Connor stuff real quick.
yeah,
So
Fight the real enemy.
you're here. You are. You got brain damage, like literally
yep,
brain damage, and you're
yep.
painting. And what was it about her? It was just her bald head, or was it the
Just
music?
love
Or
I love the music. I love the music, and I love the bold. She looked like an alien. Like she just looks like something so different than I've ever seen. I've never seen in those days. You didn't see women shave their heads, And
right? Yeah.
she had these big giant doe eyes, these tremendous eyes, this beautiful, perfect face, but shaved head. I thought it was crazy because she was so beautiful. And I always was attracted to crazy. Like I still am. I
Yeah.
always was drawn into crazy. So I assumed she's off her rocker. She's totally insane. And so am I, that we should be together somehow. Like somehow we're kindred spirits.
So you actually
And
had like those kind of thoughts of like stalkers type
oh,
mentality.
I was a star. Yeah, if I had the opportunity, which I did get the opportunity, that's why it was so crazy because
Yeah.
I was a real stalker. Like I really was unstable. I really was contemplating killing her on the way to the Garden Arts Center. I
Wow.
was that unstable, and I had a brain injury. So
Wow.
I'm a nut. I'm a psychopath with a severe brain injury going backstage to interview Sinead O'Connor, who I'm obsessed with.
So now when you land the interview
Yeah.
and you have to start prepping for do you actually prep for the interview? Like do you
I didn't have to. I knew everything about her. I didn't for that. Later on, I did. I always did.
right.
Like in those, you're gonna laugh because you're gonna know what I'm talking about. In those days, we didn't have Google, so to prep for an interview, you had to go to the local library and take nickels out of your pocket and put them in the microfiche machine. Like
Right.
you'd scroll, you take like this tape and you'd run it through the microfiche, and you'd roll rollers, and you could scan articles that ran from
Right.
years ago, right? Like a negative to a film. And
Yeah.
when you found the article, like in People magazine, you put a nickel in the machine and it would go, and this smelly carbon copy would come out that you would get high on if you breathed it. And that would be my notes to copy for questions. So I would do that for like the first 3 or 4 years because
Right.
there was no internet. So
Yeah.
that's how I would do research, but I had to go to the library and look up articles and things on people. And
Right.
I always knew a lot about the person. And I always, you know, I don't know why. I just had a knack for it. I just asked questions. I got people to tell me things they never told anyone else. And
Right.
that would make the gossip pages. And so page
But
6 and all those guys started mentioning me.
but with this first one, right?
Yeah.
When you walk in, I'm just real fascinated because I know this is your first
Yeah.
interview. You really
Yes.
weren't
Yes.
an interviewer.
No.
This was never on your radar to do this.
No. Nothing.
And so you walk in, you got access now. You're in the stadium, or whatever. You go backstage,
Yeah.
and you're in the room, and you
Yeah.
see her in person for the first time. What does that feel like?
My heart was racing out of my chest. Like I almost fainted. Like I literally almost fainted. I just couldn't believe after a year of drawing her face every day, all day long, every day, that I'm standing next to her. You can't, there's no words to describe that emotion, like that craziness. Like I can't believe I didn't faint or pass out.
It had to be
It,
surreal.
it was
You've been
surreal.
obsessed with her. Here you are contemplating on the way there, killing
Alone in a
her.
room, alone in a room, on a
Yeah,
couch next to each other. and and I'm just drawing her all the time. In my mind, I'm looking at her and I'm drawing her as I'm looking at her. Like I'm
yeah.
drawing her in my brain as I'm talking to her. I'm still drawing her.
So
Couldn't
like,
stop.
and was she nice to you? Like, how did it start? Like, so you
She
sit
was so
down, you shake her
nice.
hand, and like,
Yeah, she was sweet. She was very soft spoken. She whispers when she talks. She talked like this, and that Irish accent. She hard to understand some of the things she said because she talked so low, and she looked down when she talked, and she kind of like this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, and it was just a great interview with her. It was just a brilliant interview, and she even said, she goes, "Oh, Chauncey, I love your name. This is one of the best interviews I've done. It was such a pleasure to
wow.
meet you." I drove home. I don't think the wheels to my car ever touched the Garden State Parkway. Like I was flying. Like
So
I
you,
was.
yeah, because that's the
Yeah.
thing too. So you do the interview. I'm assuming you tape recorded it, or you wrote it down, or however you transcribed it. So now now you're like, all right, I have this interview because you were never in this world before. You're brand
Never
new to all of
didn't
this.
know anything what to do with it. In fact, I'll tell you this: I stepping out was not the first people I called. The first people I called was the Aquarian. Do you remember the Aquarian?
The Aquarian,
The
yeah, I think I remember
the
the
East Coast
Aquarian.
Rocker Aquarian.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
The
I can see
music.
the logo in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Village Voice, only all
Yes.
music, right? It was in Long Island. It was the whole tri-state area,
Yeah, I
right?
remember the
It's
Aquarian.
still, I think it's still around
I think
actually.
so too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, at least online it is. So anyway, I called them because it's music, and I thought, imagine being in the Inquirer. I mean, in East Coast Rock, the Aquarian. So I called them and I told them what I had, and this woman who answered the phone told me to go fuck myself. I said I have an interview with Sinead O'Connor. I was only. She goes, "Fuck you," and she hung up the phone.
What little do they know, you could have put the Aquarian on the map.
Yes, I could have been the next. I
Right,
could have been Chaunce Hayden from the Aquarium
right,
for the next 30
exactly.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.